you change your name?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the One United podcast. Today, I'm joined by Ekus, Anshuman, and Wali Siddiqui. We'll be going over this week's United result against Tottenham and also previewing tomorrow's match between United and Grenada, the second leg, which we're leading 2-0. So let's start off with I'll start off with Wali. So, do you think our second spot is confirmed now that we have quite a big gap between us and Leicester and only like 6-7 games left?
Uh, Top four is pretty much confirmed. If you talk about the second place, then more or less, yes, you could say that. But it was a really good performance against Tottenham Hotspur, you have to say. I think, if you ask me, it has to be the best Premier League performance that we had. Because was another, you could say that we were going for the long balls and it was slightly negative. But there was a spark of genius by Paul Pogba. And then Cavani should have had a goal. But Son should get an Oscar for his acting. It was brilliant. He almost got concussed over there. He almost died, and then he came back to score against United. So it was quite upsetting at that moment of time. I was pissing off. And Son is like regarded as one of the most likable footballers if you are a neutral fan. So that changed. But in the second half, it was quite exciting to say the least, because all three of our goals were not from counter attacks, which is quite important.
Anshuman,
They were
what do you
all
think about?
they were quick.
Wait, I think Wali's feed is gone. Okay, Anshuman, you can continue from where Wali left off. Do you think second spot's confirmed? How are you gonna treat the Premier League, or do you think there's still a small title charge that we need to be maybe optimistic about?
Well, as a Manchester United fan, you can never be too optimistic. There's always going to be they're going to be
Yeah, there's
caution.
something
And
something
yeah, we
went
do
wrong in
have
my
a
head.
7 point cushion above Leicester City, but I'm not going to say that second place is confirmed at the moment. I think we have a pretty good chance, and at this point, I think we really should be thinking about making a very strong end towards the season, and just make sure that we get the Champions League. That was my objective from the get go. We were not good enough for the title, but I think we're good enough to be in top four. So I think that top four is confirmed. I think. I'm still feeling that slightly risky as I say that, but I think we should be good enough. After that performance, that was quite an optimistic performance. And as far as the Tottenham match is concerned, I think the good thing about that match was it was a team performance. Because every time Manchester United win, we almost always say that it was individual brilliance and everything. But it was a accumulation of a lot of players playing good football. And like Wali said already, that it was quite upsetting going into the halftime because we scored a goal that should have stood. I think many
Hello.
players that have played the game at that level have kept saying that that is a goal that should have stood irrespective of their regions. So, but we went 1-0 behind, and then the response was quite fantastic as far as I'm concerned, because I think as far as this was for me one of Paul Pogba's best performance on the pitch for Manchester United. I know that he has had matches where he has scored more goals, made more goals, but we always say that the big six opposition, the big team match. This was quite a fantastic performance by Paul Pogba. And that was really really nice to see. It was not just him. Shaw was creating the chances, and Cavani had another of his masterclasses in movement. Greenwood had a great game the moment he came, and even Fred scored. I mean, at the end of the game, everyone was making fun of the fact that even Fred scored. So that was the kind of performance that really made me happy, because the way we came back, the way we were able to hold on to a lead, not give it away. So yeah, quite a lot of optimism go after that match. I really liked the fact that we just rattled Mourinho. He was not able to make head and tail of the fact. And all of a sudden, this is how narrative works, right? When Manchester United got beaten 6-1, we all came immediately afterwards after the match. And I remember I was here head in hands and I was saying that was an absolute shit show. And now they came coming after this match. And this is just things coming full circle, because that match dictated the fact that we went into every of your top six match incredibly defensively. And this is how funny thing how narrative works, because all of a sudden we have now beaten City, we have now beaten Tottenham. So Manchester United have gone from being a team that doesn't score in big matches, have now become a team that not only not concede many goals, but are also able to not lose. So yeah, that's how things work. And it was a really good performance, and I think all in all, you could say that United are improving day by day. That was the biggest thing for me, and so yes, I think the top four we are pretty sure to be playing Champions League football for the first half of next season.
Mm-hmm. Because Anshuman mentioned Greenwood, and he has scored like I think 3 goals in the last four matches, and especially came on and did the job for us against Tottenham. How do you think his form is going to be? Or what do you think? What changed for him in the second half? Because I know in the first half he was struggling with a lot of off-field issues, personal issue. His friend passed away and stuff. So, what do you think? Like how he's going to be towards the end of the season, and how is Ole going to use him?
First of all, I really think that our attackers are really in form coming with Rashford, Cavani, and Greenwood. They're scoring goals, but Greenwood has not been in form. So has Cavani. They have just scored, I think, less than 7 goals each. And coming into the form at the business end, I think it's fantastic news for United. But it was always going to happen with Greenwood that he is so young and he had so much success. It's very easy for you to just bite into that and just forget how he got there. But I'm really happy that I think he's our most clinical finisher in the team. So I'm happy he's there. He deserves it. And after a difficult patch, he is back. And how it's going to affect us in games is we are going to score more goals, definitely with him being more confident. With the games coming up, we got Leeds, Liverpool, Aston Villa, and Leicester. 4 games in a row in the league, which are going to be a little difficult. And if we can show character right there, I think we'd be good to get closer to City because top two is all but confirmed, but we really need to try to get as close to City as we can, and let's just hope that they slip. Not being that confident that we can win the league, but if we lose it by 2 or 4 points, then we have something to take to next season and really improve from there.
Mm. All right. Yeah. I think the best thing from what I found from that match was that, like, a bit like what Wali Anshuman said, we previously, like, we showed great character, like, for not just in terms of like going a goal down, because we did that so many times this season, but the fact that the goal was overruled and Cavani was losing his head in the first half, everyone seemed like they just couldn't handle it. And I think Ole in the second half did a team talk, not just say that it's just Tottenham, but also at the same time told them to keep calm, keep doing your thing, and then you'll get the result. And that's what paid off. Like, we showed great character. Like, even when we scored, like, when Fred scored, it was kind of like inevitable that we were gonna win it. It was just it was just getting delayed. And even when we got the second goal, when Cavani flying header went in, we knew that Tottenham were not going to be creating much chances, and it was quite easy. Like, Paul Pogba was just like taking the ball and showing off his skills, dribbling, and then he passed on to Mason, and Mason scored. It was too easy, and we conducted that game really well. And credit due to the manager and also the players. Because I think Anshuman and Wali said, like, all the players contributed to it equally. It was not just like one individual trying to bail us out of that game. So moving forward with our next game, which is against Grenada, we're already 2-0 up. Grenada need to score 3 goals if they were to win. And even though our Old Trafford form has been a bit of a wobble, today Ole came out and said that he's going to change the red seats and put coverings and stuff like that. We'll see how much of an impact that would be. But we also have some suspensions. Harry Maguire is suspended. I think McTominay is suspended, and I think Luke Shaw is also suspended. I think the three are quite crucial. So, Wally, how do you think we're going to line up for that game?
First of all, Wally, why are you sitting in a dark room? Like we can just see your
because
face. Are you using a
because
filter or are you using a
because there's
background? I
something
don't know what's going on.
there's something wrong with my internet at the moment. So this is the only place where I get a proper network. So
Oh,
that's
in
why
the
I'm in the
dark.
dark. So yeah, it's in the dark. Our life is in the dark at the moment. So, anyways, yeah.
Yeah,
You were
Wally.
talking about the three suspensions. The only one suspension that I'm pretty happy about is Scott McTominay's, and that the reason for that is because I want Donny Van de Beek to start. I do not care. Now he
And he
has
will
to
still
start.
not start.
Yeah, I feel like it's
Oh
going to be
my
Matic
goodness.
replacing him.
Oh man, he needs to start. This is what I was talking about, because if you look at the game against Tottenham, you had Pogba and Bruno both starting up front. Because earlier, whenever Pogba and Bruno had played together, it was Pogba basically at the pivot, so he was starting out deep. So as a result of that, he wasn't as much of a threat as he was against Tottenham. And this is what I would like to also say: if Marcus Rashford is injured, you're just forcing him to play you should start Paul Pogba on the left because he was absolutely destroying Aurier and the rest of the Tottenham players. I think he could do a wonderful job at the left, and he scored from the left against AC Milan as well. So he has been going through a really good run of form. If not Amad Diallo, then I would suggest start Pogba on the left, Bruno as a number 10. And as a result of that, we'll create a lot of chances. We'll create even more chances if we have Scott McTominay, not him, Donny van de Beek in central midfield, and we'll move the ball around quickly. There was this one comment in the podcast that we did a few days ago when I said that my ideal midfield would be Pogba, Bruno, and Donny van de Beek. That we would basically it would exploit our defense. If we move the ball, if we keep the possession, if we keep more than 60-75% possession, basically you do not need to defend much. You'll be dominating the game even more. So that is exactly what I asked, and that is why I was so impressed with United's performance because it was a courageous one. Even after we scored the second goal, we did not settle down. We went for the third and took it quite well. So against Grenada, yes, I'm 90% sure that we are pretty much through. So some good football, some entertaining football is all what we asked for. And even though it was open ended to an extent against Tottenham, but we enjoyed it. It was something that we savored. It was a really good game.
Anshuman, so yeah, like it's going to be a lot of changes, but the most crucial would be our center backs since Maguire is out. Bai is still not going to be playing tomorrow. Who do you think would be
Wanzevi,
your center? But I think Tuanzebe is also injured, so who else would be?
is he?
I saw Tuanzebe is also out for this game. That which is why we are trying to rush Bai back. But then today Ole confirmed Bai is out. So who would be your center backs?
I mean, the centre back situation is going to be quite interesting because it is going to show how for granted we take Harry Maguire's presence. Like in less than 2 years, he has already made more than 100 appearances for us. So it's things like that we're going to tomorrow we're going to recognize how important Harry Maguire has been. I mean, that price tag means that he'll never get the proper regard. But I think it's time that we do give him that.
It's
How many
Ekus.
times have we come out and we have,
What's he saying?
it's
Ekus, yeah.
how many times yeah, how
Continue,
many times have we
Anshuman.
come out and said that Harry Maguire is our best defender, but we don't have someone to complement him because Bai is injured all the time, and Lindelof is quite like Maguire. So yeah, it's going to be interesting, but things are going to be even more tricky because Bai is not going to play, and so Chuanzebe is injured presumably. So I would not be surprised if there is a positional change, if formational change, because for Scotland's men's national team, McTominay always plays at a right-sided centre back in a back three. So if we start with a back three, then he automatically fits in. But then Scott McTominay is
Yeah.
also not playing. So it's quite an interesting predicament we are in. I'm honestly not sure because Phil Jones is injured as well. So this is one of those matches in which you wish maybe Phil Jones could start. So I have no, I'm really not sure what's going to
Maybe
happen. Maybe
Matic.
Matic will be
Yeah.
Matic could slot in at centre back. That is one
Hmm.
possibility, but that does really preoccupy me quite a lot because
Yeah.
it's not just that. It's also we also not have Shaw, we also not have McTominay. So that last match was quite a weird one in that regard because we got quite a few more yellow cards than we would have fancied and we probably deserved. So it was that kind of a match. But still, result-wise, I don't think that it should be a problem
Hmm.
because the biggest thing is that on paper, this is a done deal. Manchester United are 2-0 clear. We are playing at home. We should not really have a problem. But that could be said about any other team. But on paper, things don't really work out that way in real life anyway. Because remember that Tottenham went into the second leg against Dinamo Zagreb 2-0 clear, and they were just torn
Hmm.
apart by one single player. So it can happen. We do have the precedent there. But I think first goal is going to be crucial. Their wings are going to provide a lot of problem because the Kennedy was taking all sorts of chances. They weren't good chances for them last week, but he was taking chances. So the fact that he was being given that space was a problem. Darwin Machis for them did not play from the start. He came from the bench and he was already a very tricky operator then. And so he's going to be a problem. Roberto Soldado is always going to be a problem. But I don't think they are going to provide that much of a threat that Manchester United should warrant getting knocked out from the
Hmm.
position that we are. So I think it should be it's not going to be clear cut. Obviously, Grenada are already pulling, really punching quite above their weight. They're going to play as fearlessly as they played last week, as they have played in La Liga for last 2 years. So yeah, they're going to do that. First goal is again going to be crucial. As I think if we can stay nil-nil for the majority of the first half, we should be fine. If we do concede the first goal, then the impetus will be on us to go and score again. So, like Wally said, the point that he made about Van de Beek, I think he's going to play. I'm not sure if he's going to start. So I think it'll be interesting to see how the formations go because we have just one fully functional centre back. So I think the best bet right now is that we will see Matic alongside Lindelof in a back two, and then we'll have Fred and Pogba and Bruno starting in the midfield. I don't want Rashford anywhere near the field because he's already has things are very precarious with him right now. I read a report by Laurie Whitwell recently that Solskjaer and Marcus Rashford are taking their situation on a day-by-day basis. Like his ankle is so tender that he's not wearing shoes anytime apart from the fact when he has to play. That is not good. That is not good by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, given the medical record our club has already had, this does not put me in any kind of this doesn't give me any kind of relief. So as much rest as that guy can get, we need him going into the last 2 months right now. I think tomorrow is a match that he can be put aside for. I think we have Dan James. I think we have an informed Cavani. Greenwood is scoring now. I don't think we should have that much of a problem. So yeah, that's about it really. Manchester United should really be going through.
Because touching upon the attackers, who would you start in the front three? What would be your substitutions? Because like Anshuman said, yeah, I don't want Rashford anywhere close to the starting 11, even on the bench. But yeah, we do get 5 subs on the Europa League. So how would you change it? Would Amad Diallo gets to play, or is Dan James fit to start? Because he could easily take over left wing position from Rashford.
I would play Greenwood, and I would play Diallo on the right, and I would play Dan James on the left, and I wouldn't play Bruno. I'd put him on the bench. I'd put Van de Beek CM. I would play Pogba LAM, and I would put Fred CDM. And the back four is a very dicey situation. I would play Telles. I'd play De Gea. I would play Lindelof. I would play Brandon Williams. Is he injured?
Not, no, I think he's fit. I think
He's
he
he's
came on the
back.
No, I
bench.
think he
No,
makes it.
Van Bissaka will start definitely.
But they shouldn't start Van Bissaka because
I
he's
think one, yeah.
Why not?
he's been playing almost every game like since the last
Yeah,
12,
but he
14
hasn't
games.
shown any signs of injury though.
He's not
He
shown,
doesn't
but
Since
feel
there
like
is
last
he's going to be
fatigue,
burned down.
and they have been playing every like 2 games a week. So I wouldn't risk any player going into this uh the Premier League fixtures, and also we need someone for the semi-finals. We cannot afford to miss anybody, and we don't want to choke again in the semis. So with one leg in the semis, I would prepare for the semis with an eye for this game. But you would put all of them on the bench, and you can make 5 substitutions. So if anything goes wrong, get every all of them in the second half. And uh, definitely the other centre back is going to be a little dicey. So I think I would go for Matic because he has experience over all the other players.
Hmm, interesting. Wally, what would be your starting 11? And you okay? Wait, Ekus, give us his score prediction just for the second leg.
I would go for a at home. Given our form, I would go for a 2-1.
Okay, Wally, your team lineup and score prediction.
David De Gea should be starting in at goal. Apparently, he's now the cup goalkeeper. And then you have Aaron Van Bissaka towards at the right back region. I also agree with that. It should be Lindelof and Nemanja Matic. And then Alex Telles at the left. I would go for Donny van de Beek and Fred as the central midfielders. Even though we would want Bruno to get a rest, he's not going to get a rest. So he'll start at number 10. And then, like I said, Pogba on the left, Dan James on the right. And either Greenwood or Cavani up front. That is something which I want.
Hmm. And your score prediction?
I think it's gonna, even though that I did mention that we want to see some good football similar to what we did against Tottenham Hotspur. I don't think that it's going to be that because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer would tell his men to be cautious at the back and to take the game as deep as possible, which would frustrate Grenada and which would basically give us the opportunity to hit them on the counter. So that is something which is going to happen. So it's not going to be easy, but I think it's going to be 1-1.
Mm-hmm. All right, Anshuman, your team lineup and prediction.
Well, I think I agree that De Gea is going to start. I think Wan-Bissaka will stay, and purely because of the fact that if you put him out and put Brandon Williams on the right back, that will be one change too many. So you will be introducing three new defenders in the starting lineup, with Lindelof being the only one. I think that would be one change too many, and Oli would not want to risk that. And if when you look at the players that actually feel burnt out, I think Rashford is one, Bruno is one. I don't think Wan-Bissaka is one. Every player is injury prone, technically speaking. But I think Wan-Bissaka is going to start because of that reason, because you don't want to change your starting 11 to such a point that you you mount upon yourself the risk of being vulnerable, and you don't want Granada any kind of chance. So I think that he's going to start. Lindelof and Matic, I think, are the safest bet. Telles has to start because Choice banned, and it's going to be Fred, it's going to be Pogba, and it's going. I would like to see Van de Beek, but I think it's going to be Bruno, but because he started him against in the second leg in Real Sociedad, which was like the one match where you could have thought that Bruno could have gotten a break. So I think he's starting against Granada. And the front three that I'd like to see will be Dan James on the left, Greenwood on the right, and Cavani in the middle. I think that would provide a lot of creativity. And I really like Cavani just marauding Greenwood around, giving him instructions as well. He has really been quite a positive influence on him particularly. And it's nice to see that Greenwood is now scoring again. He has been playing well. He has been putting in a lot of effort in the past few weeks. So it's good to see that he's now back in scoring again. He's on his way to become our greatest goal scoring teenager now. He's level with Rashford. He's 2-3 goals behind Wayne Rooney. So I think he's going to overtake that. And from the bench, I think we are going to see Van de Beek and we are going to see Amad Diallo. So I think that will be my lineup as far as I'm concerned. And I think the prediction, the safe bet I think would be a 0-0 draw. Just pure stinker of a game that doesn't really go anywhere, and United just see out the match.
Very interesting. So my lineup would be pretty much like Wali's, I would say, with De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Matic, Telles. Midfield would be Fred. I would want Van de Beek to start, and I actually think Van de Beek might start. I think Van de Beek and Bruno might start. I think Van de Beek might be used in one of the wings. So I would think Fred, Pogba, Bruno, Van de Beek on either left or right. And depending on that, I think if Dan James is fit, he would play on the left. Or I think Juan Mata could come on in this game. And centre forward, I think it's going to be Mason Greenwood because I feel like Cavani might be rested for the league. We don't really need Cavani's presence, but we can use him as a option from the bench. I think this would be a good game for Mason Greenwood to start as a centre forward, and hopefully he does. And my prediction would be also a draw. I think it'll be 1-1. I think it'll be 1-1. They might score, we might score, and then that would be pretty much the game. We'll try to contain them and run out. It's not going to be exciting. But yeah, I think we'll be home and dry, and we'll be in the semifinals. It'll be more exciting to see which other team would be joining us because I think Roma and
It's
Ajax.
Roma or Ajax, yeah.
Yeah, I think their tie is quite more interesting than our tie. I think it's 2-1 to Roma. I think away from home. So that would be more interesting, and hopefully Arsenal, if they choke against Praga, so that would also be
By
quite
the
an
way,
interesting one.
Slavia Prague are undefeated at home this season.
Oh wow, they just need a 0-0 draw, and they'll be safe.
Yeah.
And if they score, I think they might hold on to it. So yeah, that's our prediction. That's our team lineups. Anything else, guys, that we need to go through?
Yeah, that's about it.
You didn't
Ekus,
talk about the goalkeeping situation.
we talked last week.
Yeah.
We have talked about it almost every
Yeah,
other week.
we talk every week.
You want to say something? You can
Yeah,
you
Ekus, yeah.
can say you can.
Yeah, please,
Yeah.
please, by all means.
Dinete knows my okay. Not G test positive for COVID-19. Delhi Capitals to get relegated. Okay.
What?
What?
Okay,
What?
fine.
I
Okay.
just got a notification.
There are so
Nothing,
many
but-
red flags.
Yeah.
There are so many red flags in what you just said.
Okay. So I was saying, I personally don't prefer Henderson, even though his performances are good. I think De Gea has been better in the games, but like last thing I know that De Gea went for his child's birth and never came
Shouldn't
back
have
to the
gone.
team. And he played like one game since end of February or two games, but this is really not right because I think it's unethical. But
What about Romero's situation then?
But he should have given De Gea till the end of the season and then change the keeper. As you know, we both are not big fans of two goalkeepers in a
Yeah, I'm not a
in
big
team.
fan. Yeah,
And I would certainly believe De Gea to really be there and like he's helped us when we really needed it, and he's our most expensive player in the sense of the wages,
Yeah,
and you just cannot make him a cup goalkeeper given his performances, because his performances have not been bad.
it's
They've
been
been decent.
it's been questionable last season. This season, it's been a bit of a mix.
It's been
before
a mix, so
before
you can't
before
take a
he wa-
decision
he
on
wa-
the last season
before
that
he
he should have
went
done
for the
last season. But
before he went for the paternity leave, he was the man of the match against Chelsea.
yeah, didn't
Mm.
that's your
Yeah,
quality.
but that was one man of the match. Even Fred can get man of the match against
What do
Spurs.
you
That
No,
do?
doesn't
against
cover up
West
for that.
So
against
basic. You
West
were the
Brom
man
as
of the
well.
match, and then you're gone of the team.
Yeah, no, but
See,
yeah,
the thing is, I think the thing what I agree with Ekus is that it hasn't been handled well, because if you're going for a paternity leave and then you're not in the team, I think this could have been handled in a much better way.
yeah,
I
that
think
is.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was looking for an excuse to drop him, and I've also heard rumors that Harry Maguire prefers Dean Henderson as his goalkeeper. So there's this thing which is going on
And
here.
whatever Harry Maguire prefers would be Ole's first choice. I don't know why that
Because he's a
happens,
club
but that is
captain.
very
He's the
apparent.
captain, bro.
Yeah, what do you mean?
I
No,
mean, he's a captain,
see,
but he doesn't play like one.
the
So
thing with that, the thing is that De Gea has been poor, and people have asked like Ole to play Henderson, play Henderson, play Henderson, and like Wali said, it was an excuse for him
we
to
have been
drop.
telling him to play Van de Beek, Van de Beek, Van de Beek. He's not
Yeah, so
Yeah,
playing.
when
exactly.
so
He
when
should have played him.
Pogba or Bruno go for some vacation, then he'll
Dude, I remember Pogba being injured. Still, Van de Beek didn't
yeah,
play.
but that time Van de Beek was also injured. That's why he didn't get the chance to play because
But
unfortunately
honestly, the
Van de Beek was.
goalkeeping situation is in crisis at the club. We have 3 or 4 goalkeepers who can play, and, and he's playing
I
Dean
feel bad for
Henderson,
Romero.
who's not
I
the
feel bad
best
for
among
Romero.
them.
I feel bad for Romero more than De Gea because Romero was treated very badly.
And
Like
he has been treated a similar way, not
he's still
at the
Actually,
same
playing.
quality, but
this is the thing with United. We ever since Sir Alex Ferguson left, whenever our legends are leaving the club, they haven't been treated with respect. If you look at Ferdinand, if you look at Patrice
Yeah,
Evra,
Vidic.
if you look at Giggs, okay, Giggs was given that
Rooney.
respect, but Wayne Rooney, and
Rooney,
then who else? Robin van
biggest
Persie.
Rooney,
Robin van
Wayne
Persie won you the
Rooney,
20th title, and
Yeah,
he just left.
even Nani.
So
Nani just
Angelito.
left. Schweinsteiger, who came with so much respect, he left.
I wouldn't
Didn't get
consider
any.
Schweinsteiger as a legend, though.
Yeah,
He was just a filler.
He was a legend, not a club legend.
Yeah, he was a legend, German legend.
yeah.
He was our
Rafael.
talk
first
about
German
United
player, by
legends.
the way.
Yeah, first German player. Anderson. So many cult heroes.
Yeah, man.
Chicharito.
I just
But
hope
Even
like
Real
if he
Madrid.
leaves,
I'm not happy with the situation, and I would feel, or I would think that Dea needs to be back in the team. But with the Henderson performances, now he's going to be as a standby. But
this might
it
be his
is
final
wrong.
season.
It's morally wrong what happened to that man.
So yeah, it's morally wrong that Henderson's playing well. Like
It's when he was playing well, he went to paternity leave. Now, how is his fault? Now his wife gave birth. What is his fault in that?
but
You
Henderson's
should,
all, but it's a football. It's not like who's
So
standing
next
there.
time, people will be scared to become parents because they might lose their
exactly,
place in the team. Now that is the
especially
ethical
for
thing or
Manchester
mind
United.
games that is going to happen.
Marshall
But
had
coming to
two
the
kids.
point, I still
Marshall had
prefer
two
Dea.
kids.
Dea is number one. That's why he has the number one shirt.
Yeah, that's
Cool.
fine. Ederson doesn't have number one shirt in Man City, but
Manchester City.
yeah, he's 31 or
Dean
33.
Henderson does not even deserve to be number one in the England team.
Nah, man, that's a lot now.
Wow,
That's a
this
lot.
guy, yeah, now he
That's a
just
lot
hates
now.
Dean Henderson now.
I'm
Forget
more of a
it.
Nick Pope.
He just hates Dean Henderson.
I'm more of a Nick Pope.
Yeah, Nick Pope is also good, but Dean Henderson, you saw against Tottenham, he was different gravy. The way that
Yeah.
he's commanding the box,
But he gave a
it was
goal
actually
which
good to
he
see.
could have saved. I mean,
No,
that
no,
was
that was a very good recovery. If you saw the pace, how much he covered in that.
He saved quite a few with his feet.
Yeah.
Like the hair, like the
He
hair.
was
like
so
Dea.
quick.
You want to compare him to Dea?
And also, Dean Henderson is apparently the fastest player in Man United. He's as fast
Yeah,
as
and
Kante.
what are we going to do with his pace?
It's gonna help him. It's gonna help. Like how many goals have we considered from corners with
He's
Dean
gonna run
Henderson
down the
compared
wings.
to David De
he's
Gea?
gonna do what within 0.5 meters? What is? I don't think that's
Like he's a
Henderson-
good sweeper keeper. He's a good
De
sweeper
Gea,
keeper. That's
yeah,
what
De
I
Gea's never comes in front of that 6-yard box. Even during corners, if a cross is there, he'll wait for someone to head the ball and then to make
Yeah.
a
and
save.
without doing that, he became our
Basically-
4 times player of the year.
That's because no one
basically
else is good enough.
Dean Basically,
There's no
Dean Henderson
competition.
covers the mistakes
I
of Harry
still-
Maguire and Victor Lindelof.
Yeah, that
Who
also.
won the PFA, the Player of the Year when Zlatan scored 20 goals?
Yeah, he was there for 3 or 4 seasons.
And
He
that
was
No, that
there.
was
wasn't a
Luke
good
Shaw.
season, right?
I think that was wasn't Luke Shaw that time.
Let me check.
Luke
Or
Shaw
This
won the
year's
match.
man
Must
of the year.
be something. I guess
Anshuman would know
he's a
this.
big advocate.
no, De Gea won in 2013, 2014, 2014, 2015, 2015, 2016. That was not when we won the Europa League.
Like 3 seasons
We
on the
won
bounce.
16, 17, 18 or 16, 17?
16, 17.
16, 17.
It's all right, man. David De Gea will always be a legend.
He will. I think he's going to stay.
He might
Why would he
stay
stay?
because he's getting so much
Why would he
money.
stay?
He will
Yeah, he's
stay
getting money.
because I don't like. I really don't believe Henderson can like be
If
the.
if if
And the
if we
Herrera
could
won.
get
And the Herrera
if
won
we could
that.
sell David De Gea and get a really
He's
decent
not going
central
to sell. Are you
midfielder
mad? Do you not
or a
really?
centre back,
We have to pay 58 million to Dea to leave.
Yeah. Damn.
we can get a player.
58
That's what
million.
I'm
We have
trying
to
to
buy
say.
out his contract.
Chris Smalling.
Anyways,
Chris
And
Smalling has
when did Dea sign an extension under Mourinho or under Ole?
last year,
Mourinho
last year,
last year.
And look at this.
Yeah, that's when
He
also
made him the club's club's highest paid player. And then when he went on paternity leave, he kicked him out.
you know what I think they're gonna do? They're gonna sell David De Gea, then they're gonna give the wages to Paul Pogba to stay, the same wages that De
But
Gea has.
how are they going to sell? Dea won't even sell for more than 15 million.
No, he'll go for at least 30, man. At least minimum 30 he'll go for. That's a minimum. He's a good goalkeeper. Like even if he is making his mistakes, he's a really
Ander
good goalkeeper.
Herrera won the player of the year in 16-17. And then Herrera left the club.
Yeah.
For free. He was supposed to be our next captain.
Yeah.
Imagine. But anyway, coming
Nah.
to a point that De Gea is the best goalkeeper in the world at one time.
No, he's not in top 5 in Premier League.
At
I
one
would say.
time.
At one time, yeah, I
At one
agree.
time.
Yeah, that I agree.
Okay.
One.
So I think that is it. You should wrap it up.
Yep, we are wrapping it up. All right. See you guys.
Thank you guys.